What up, y'all? Let's talk about the rubric function in Classroom. I'm the worst. I don't learn anything just for the good of anybody else, it seems. I finally just used it myself and was like, oh my gosh, this is sick. People have to see this. Okay, so I'm just going to go create an assignment real quick. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to Rubric Plus. Even before we go, I have not imported one from Sheets. I'm sure that it works totally fine. Reuse Rubric, that's what I want to talk about before we move on. That's fantastic because if you create it once, you don't have to keep making the thing. You can just reuse it. So that's fantastic, especially if you're someone that has like sort of stock, I don't want to call them generic, but like stock set rubrics that you use for multiple assignments. That would be super convenient. Okay, create rubric. Really, this couldn't be easier. So one thing that's really cool about this is that if you have an assignment that, like I grade on a 4 scale, so I'm going to change this to a 4. Okay, and now I'm going to create rubric. All right, so you can now weight the sections of your rubric. So like if I just created a rubric that was just set in the assignment or whatever, like I could do the algebra to make row 1 worth 0.5 out of 4 or whatever. But that's probably just not going to happen because doing that for however many freaking students is really just not an option. But making rubrics in here, you can weight the pieces of your rubric, which is huge. Okay. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm typing this. Okay. So here, if I wanted to, okay, I could change it to a half a point and it would take a half a point out of those 4. Okay. Which is helpful. Okay, level title. Let's say this is for a 4. Okay, this is what a 4 looks like. All of your choices were perfectly tasteful. Of course, I'm not going to be doing a good job making a rubric right now. This is not a tutorial on how to make an appropriate rubric, just how to make one. Now this is cool. So if they get a 4, like the most they can get for this row of my rubric is 0.5. Okay, so then I have to decide, well, how much do they get for a 3? So let's just say that it's, I don't know, let's call it 0.4, 3. Most of your choices were really tasteful. Okay. 0.32. Some of your choices were pretty tasteful. And then, I don't know. I don't know why this should be a 0.2. It probably shouldn't be. Okay, we're just trying to get through it. Almost none of your choices were at all tasteful. And this is maybe a me thing, but I'm all about those zeros to explain exactly why someone gets a 0. Sometimes there's nothing there, but sometimes it's none of your choices. See, they made some choices. They're still getting a 0. None of your choices were in any way tasteful. Okay, so I now have a row of my rubric. Add criterion. Okay. I don't know. Doesn't matter. How much striking imagery was interwoven in your work? I don't know. Okay, so here, let's just say for the sake of getting this done, that was worth 0.5 out of 4. So let's just say I'm going to make this worth 3.5 out of 4. Okay, the rest of it, because I don't want to keep going. Level title 4. Whoa, so much imagery, like imagery overload. And then, I don't know, just whatever. I'm going fast. None or none good. Okay, now I'm going to save. So this is cool. If I click on the rubric again, I can open it back up and make changes. Okay. All right, these people are going to be confused on why they got an assignment, but this is just where we are. Let's see. Okay. All right. Now they don't have any slides or anything attached here. We just have the thing. All right, but you can see here, I can go and give her a 4 for taste, 3 for imagery, and you can see it's tabulating those rubric weights for me. Super convenient. I can then return it, and there's something I want to look at, because I actually don't know the answer, but I'm realizing right now that we might want to know the answer, and that is this. If I can go and change the rubric after I've assigned it. It looks like okay, it looks like no. It looks like no. Oh, I can make changes to the pieces that I have, but I can't add new rows to my rubric. Okay, so that's something worth knowing. Like you need to have it here. Let me see something too. I want to see if I can add one to an assignment that already exists. Okay, now if I already have an assignment that doesn't have a rubric yet, I can add one after the fact. I can create one, I can reuse an old one, just the same as I could if I was doing it new. So that's really good information to have. If you've already attached a rubric to an assignment, you can change the pieces inside the things you've already created. Like you can change the descriptions and the weights of the rubric you already have, but you cannot make drastic changes like adding rows, deleting rows, and such. If there's an assignment you've already created and it doesn't have a rubric on it, you can go back and edit it and add a rubric to that assignment, which is super helpful. Good work, Google. All right, so let me show you what one looks like. This poor girl, I keep opening hers, but whatever. Okay, so this one. So check it out. You can see we have the slides attached, okay? And then over here on the right, you can see all of her rubric things. So like for her intro, I can go choose a 0, a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4. Go down to the next thing on my rubric and decide which one it is, so on and so forth all the way down at the bottom. Add my comments like usual, return it, everything. Anyway, all of these different parts of the rubric are weighted, and you can see as you look through them, this one's the intro is worth 0.25 out of 4. Okay, this is actually really helpful because the intro should have never weighed as much as some of these other sections. And you can see here what I've done. Like these are clearly the most important parts. They're all worth 1, 0.25, 0.25. So cool. I don't know if I'm selling it very well, but to me it feels huge, and it's been out for a while, so I'm probably really behind the ball, and there might be people that stumble across this or like, dude, catch up. Whatevs. Okay, it's basically it, man. Those are rubrics in Google Classroom. Not that anybody cares, but John approved. Yep, I dig it. I'm super into it. Okay, if you made it this far, thanks for hanging out with me. Later.